Hi everyone, welcome to Unit Planning versus Lesson Planning. I'm very happy that you're watching this video and I'm hoping it's going to help you understand the difference between both and that you can start using it to save time planning and preparing and helping your students. However, let's start. Have you ever sat down and planned and thought, why does this never end? You finish tomorrow's lesson, feel a tiny bit relieved, then the next day you are right back at your desk, new standards, new copies, new activities, same heavy feeling. If planning feels like a treadmill where you are always moving but never getting ahead, so this video is for you. We're gonna learn how to plan a journey instead of just planning a lesson or a stop, and how to support you to not get burned out. Today, we're going to talk about shifting from planning just for Tuesday to planning a journey that actually supports you and your students. As teachers, the planning truly never stops. There is always another lesson, another objective, another standing to cover. We spend hours getting the details right for tomorrow. Then tomorrow comes and we start all over again. The constant pressure is to create the perfect daily lesson is exhausting. It's one of the quickest paths to burnout. But what if the problem is not you or your effort? What if the problem is that you are only planning the next stop instead of mapping out the whole trip? The real difference between feeling rushed and feeling prepared is understanding the difference between unit planning and lesson planning and using both on purpose. So let's break it down in a really simple way. What's unit planning? Think about it as a road trip, not just a next stop. First, let's talk about the unit planning that is like planning a road trip. Like I said, you know where you are starting, you know where you want to end up, and you pick up the most important stops in between. Those important stops are your daily lesson plans. So we're not going to talk about that now. We're just talking about the unit planning, that start, the destination, and those are important stops. So always I keep in mind, I'm starting here, this is where I want to end. Instead of asking what I'm teaching tomorrow, I want you to think what I will be teaching for the next 4 to 6 weeks. And I want you to keep everything anchored to standards. So you ask, what are we going to be going over the next 4 to 6 weeks? And how will we get it together? A strong unit plan usually covers about 4 to 6 weeks. It keeps you anchored to your core standards. You are thinking about the essential questions. You are thinking about the genre. You are thinking about the big questions you want students to explore, the main text, the academic vocab you're covering during the whole unit, the reading and writing skills you want to build week by week. Nothing is random. Every activity has a reason because it's connected to the larger journey. When you sit down to unit plan, you are really answering questions. And those questions are, you're going to think about the standards. You're going to think about, the essential questions. You want to think about what you want your students to learn, how I'm going to approach it, how rigorous, what activity, the material. I'm doing centers, I'm using whole groups, small groups. So you have to keep in mind all of that. So now, let's move to lesson plan. Let's talk about it. If unit plans are the road trip map, your lesson plans are the details, and each daily stop or weekly stop, it's about how I look at it as a daily stop, where I'm going to stop every day, those stops, and why I'm zooming into these stops. What's the point of it? So let's plan is zoom in one class period. Answer the question exactly what's happening today, what you're thinking about, what is today's objective, how I'm going to help my students, what activity I'm doing, what materials I'm using, how I'll check for understanding. And I would like you to understand that each group and each class is different. So I'm thinking about my lesson planning. I'm breaking it into one day, one block, one group. So I'm thinking about if I have special ed class, how I'm going to approach it. I have bilingual class, ELL students, how I'm going to approach it. I have regular general ed class, how I'm going to approach it. So each block is each different group. It's a different approach. So I want you to think like unit plans and lesson plans are not competing. I'm not saying, oh, this is better than this. No, they are partners. They work together. Like when we partner kids into classroom, they work together to have the best results. You cannot build a house without a blueprint. So you're looking at your unit plan as your blueprint, and you cannot build walls without placing each brick with intention. And you're looking at your lesson plans, meaning each piece with intention, with a focus. Why I'm doing this each day. So the unit plan gives you the structure and the direction. The lesson plan makes sure each piece of learning fits into that structure. But now, how do they both work together? How does two work together? Your planning stop feeling scattered. You know why you are teaching what you are teaching, and your students are feeling the clarity too. So think about it. Unit plan, big picture, structure, sequence, long-term goals, lesson plan, daily details, students' experience today, step-by-step action. Think about it that way. If you follow these 3 steps for each, you're going to understand, and you're going to help yourself to make things easier for yourself, not just for the students. Because when you are prepared, the students perceive that, and they take it from you. They know you know your content. All teachers know their contents. None of us. We come into this profession to help. We know our content. We study. We do a lot of research. Every teacher is prepared. It's just how to put it together and tie it together. Here is the part that matters most of your mental load. The goal is of planning is not to create flawless documents. I want you to understand that. It's not perfection. It's to give you confidence and clarity. Unit plans give you confidence. You know where you are heading, and you can trust what you are doing today connects to something bigger. Lesson plans give you clarity. You know what you're doing with your student right now. And this block with this group, it's less stress, it's more impact. More impact because you're going to see the results when your students take those state testing. When you have both, you feel different. You are not scrambling to invent something on the spot. You are not second guessing every choice. Instead, you walk into the classroom thinking, I know where we're going. I know what we're doing today, and I know what it matters. So during that time, what happens when you know what you're doing and what you're teaching and why it matters, your students gotta feel that. They will understand the bigger picture of a unit. They are more engaged and more willing to stick with challenging work. So let's look at this now. Planning is your journey, it's not a task. Planning your unit is not a task. When you give yourself a strong unit plan first, you make every daily lesson easier because you're tying the first lesson to the last lesson. You know what's going to happen in the middle. You know, I start here, this is the results. And you might have some challenges and some stops that there might be harder than the others. But because you know, you planned with intention, you know how everything works, it's always got to tie and it's going to give you the best results. You make every daily lesson easier to plan, easier to teach, and easier to adjust. You're not just trying to survive the next stop. You're guiding a thoughtful, purposes lesson for your students. So here is the question I would like to ask you. If I ask you today to take one small step, I would like you to do it. Sit down, map out maybe 1 week. I don't want to say next 4 weeks. Map out a week at least. Try it with essential question to guide you. Choose the vocab words. Take a lesson you love, you already have taught it, and try it again and add it to fit with one of your big ones. Whatever it is, start small, but just start. Just start, try it, give it a try. If you want help in my story, you're gonna find and you find the description, you're gonna find links to the units, a lot of units that I have used in my classroom, and it has everything, lesson plans, choice from day 1 to the end, to 30 days to 6 weeks, everything together. Check the description to links to ready-to-go resources and planning tools that will save you time. And if you found this helpful, give this video a like, leave a comment with your one small step, and subscribe for more simple strategies to make planning lighter and literacy more joyful. Don't forget to grab your freebie, link in here. You can copy it from here, and link also in description. Grab a freebie, check it out. And thank you so much for listening, and see you in the next video. Bye.